Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss a poem, Echo by Walter de la Mare. Okay, so Walter de la Mare, you might have heard, okay, you might know that his poems are generally highly imaginative and create a sense or evoke a sense of mystery and wonder. And this poem is no different to that things. Okay, this poem is also like that a small concept of ego has been discussed by the poets here in a very beautiful manner. This poem is quite a small one, and in this small poem he is trying to tell us that how ego works, okay, and is being presented. Ego is being presented as a character in this poem, so it's something that the boy is in a forest or such a place surrounded with trees, and he's in a very sad and depressed mood, and how eco functions. Okay, he is telling us and how what kind of atmosphere, okay, actually it creates there. So that is being explained here in this poem. So let's see how that all has been conveyed in a beautiful manner by Walter de la Mare. So how it begins, it is: who called, I said, and the words, okay, through the whispering clouds, hither, thither, baffle the birds, who called, who called. So the poets, there is a rhythm, okay, and rhyme here in the poem. Maybe we can say a rhythmic poem as well as there is a music, okay, the flow of music here we can say. So the boy in a forest, okay, and they are all surrounded by trees. He said, who calls, okay, and there was the echo of the sound. That sound really, it resounded through the whispering glade. Okay, so glade is actually the space between the trees. Okay, if there's a cluster of trees or lots of trees are there, so the space between, okay, or among those trees is called glade. Okay, so whispering, the word whispering creates, we can say, the poetic divides its onomatopoeia, where the sound suggests an image, okay, where the sound said just a thing but then it related to it, so is called onomatopoeia. Okay, and here whispering is, it denotes actually the rustling of leaves, okay, the sound that comes when we are among the trees. So that rustling sound, okay, it denotes that we're through the whispering glades. So that sound, it flows through the trees and hither and thither, okay, fable the birds. So the birds hearing the sound, okay, they were called baffled and confused and puzzled when they heard the sound coming through the plants and trees, and it repeated, okay, the resound of it was there. There could be heard who called, okay, and so it puzzled all the birds. There they were all confused and anxious, okay, hearing that sound that was coming through the clouds among the trees. And now here, so we can say a beautiful sound imagery has also been used, okay, the poet in this poem. So here the poet is discussing the concept of echo, okay, so we can say he has repeated these things here as happens when the sound reflected from blast by hitting and then coming back, so that kind of resounding is there in echo. When we are, okay, when we are, you might have experienced this kind of things when you are in closed compartment door, okay, suppose at a hill or a mountain you shout, and what happened, the words, the sound that return from the place, okay, so it is the same thing here, okay. And the leafy bough on high hissed in the sun. The dark air carried my car faintingly on. Okay, the poet is telling us about what happened next. The leafy bough on high, okay, in the sun, so that echo that resound creates you. Know what a disparate situation it seems, okay, as if even the bow, Okay, even the bow leaves, okay, they were hissing on the sun. Hissing here actually suggests some desperate situation, some anxious situation of anxiety. Okay, that the bough which quite high, the trees, the branches which are quite high, okay, all covered with leaves. Okay, so the leafy boughs on the high, this seems to be hissing on the sun, rustling, and that sound, that particular sound of leaf, okay, that was there was as that echo has puzzled those leafy bough, okay, and the leafy branches as well. So that anxious atmosphere was their eyes. In the dark air carried my cry faintingly on. Okay, so that is the dark air carried my cry. That means when the poet did this, when the poet shouted, "Who goes?" So the sound would actually overflow in the atmosphere. Okay, the air, the wind actually carried was a carrier for the sound. Okay, it carried his sound all over, and it was disseminated and propagated everywhere, all around the whole atmosphere with our brain. Okay, with the sound who called, and slowly it was fending and fending, okay, and muffling and muffling. Then and eyes in the green, in the shade, in the motionless break, voices that said what I said for mockery sake. Okay, here and eyes in the green, okay, in the shade, okay, in the motionless break. Okay, and so what happened that all we got all the creatures there. Okay, they got alert and cautious, just as it happens when they hear any movement or any sound, they become alert and cautious. Okay, only the eyes were visible behind the bushes. Okay, behind the trees, as in the dark, the eyes of the creatures shines on me. Okay, the eyes only could be seen, only the eyes, okay, were visible. All got motionless, all was silent, all were like without any movement. They were not moving at all. All we have got so much cautious trying to catch the sound. Okay, whatever it is trying to understand that, and voices that said, okay, that said what I said for mockery sake. Okay, now here comes the real points. Okay, but how when somebody repeat what we say, it seems like the person is mocking us, right, making fun of us, and here it was just the same. Okay, and the sound returned, who called, it feel as if it was making fun of the point. Who called after the point said this, they were being repeated like this, so echo as it said, here presented as a character, and the sound is being repeated again and again, and it seems as if the point is being mocked about. Okay, that is making fun of the point. What we generally see, or it happens sometime like after us, when somebody repeat the same thing again and again. Okay, it is simply to make fun of the person. Okay, so here it seems that how and the point is perhaps trying to explain this concept of echo, that how it is. Okay, it mocks us, how it makes fun of us. Okay, now who cares? I bawled through my tears. The wind fell low in the silence. Who cares? Who cares? Okay, well, to and fro. Now, who cares? Okay, I bawled through my tears. Who cares? I bawled through my tears. Okay, the wind fell low. Okay, but finally, as the poet was all upset and all saddened. Okay, so all said, so when he heard this, who called, okay, who called being repeated, he felt where he said, or he was like, we can say, more weary, and he was more sad, and he finally just crying and boiling through his eyes. Okay, just all therefore his tearful. He said, "Who cares? Okay, I don't care whether it makes fun of me or know what I don't. Okay, I am not bothered about this." He simply said, and what happened? The wind fell low. Okay, the wind which was going high. Okay, now it was low, and in the silence, do and fro. Okay, who uh, who cares in the silence? Who cares? Okay, who cares? Wealth to and fro. So finally, what, as if it was the poem has been, we can say, finished on some note of say sympathy or condolence or something, as if it is to sympathize with the poet's current state of sadness and sorrow. So how it happened that finally, when he felt very sad by that repetition of echo, like when he was saying, "Who called the voice?" the sound was repeated. So he felt very sad with this and all upset. He said, "Who cares? Because I don't care whether it makes fun of me. I don't care. I don't bother about this." And then what the same sound, "Who cares," went on repeating. After that, air carried this sound, "Who cares? Who cares?" So as if I can say that it is started on a not sorrow and sadness and depression, okay, but it acts on a lighter note. There is a very beautiful sound imaginary used by the poet in this poem, and the idea of echo has been made very clear by suggesting that how the sound is repeated. Okay, when you are at such a place, okay, hilly area was surrounded by resources. So what happened that its sound, okay, comes again and again. So that is the concept here. Okay, that how when he says, "Who cares," that sound also about repeating. Okay, and it kinds of provides solace in such a situation. Okay, it sympathizes with the poet's condition of sadness and sorrow. So that is how the poet and the poems. Okay, I think it is quite clear. The idea, okay, the idea is quite clear to you, and it's quite simple. Okay, just that as simple as that we can say. Okay, so I hope you understand how the idea has been conveyed here. What's the theme and the words, the real concept here. So this is the end of the poem.